Okay. Well, thanks everyone for attending tonight. I really appreciate you all coming out. So, and also want to thank the Weyburn Public Library for letting me come here tonight and hosting this event for us. So, again, thank you. This journey embarked with a problem, or should I say a seed. As a young, strong conservative, I noticed differences in the battle of political warfare between conservatives, liberal and socialists, and how it was fought. But why did other conservatives not see and understand the leftist political warfare and use those same leftist tactics against the leftist enemies to win debates, elections, and most importantly, further conservative values of personal initiative, self-reliance, and personal responsibility? Over time, that dormant seed matured into a painful thorn. As a lover of knowledge and learning, I could not find material that succinctly shared what I knew and understood to be equivocal truths. That thorn budded in 2014 when I began jotting down notes. That bud has now blossomed to a rose tonight, and hopefully this rose will be a fruitful and produce a rose garden. So let me walk you through this rose garden. I hope it enlightens you all and brightens North America's future. Can I see a show of hands? Who has read the Communist Manifesto? Thank you. Who has read the Regina Manifesto? Thank you. The Winnipeg Manifesto. How about the Leap Manifesto? No?
Winnipeg General Strike?
Okay. Not too many people have, so don't feel embarrassed. Has anyone heard of the Cloward and Piven strategy? No? Okay. Summarized, Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven called for collapsing the welfare system in order to precipitate a crisis that would lead to its replacement with a national guaranteed annual income. They both believed this would end poverty. This was done back in the 60s. So, how about the petty thief, Saul Alinsky? Have anybody heard of Saul Alinsky and his 13 Rules for Radicals? Oh, that's a good one you guys should need to read. Does anyone know who Cleon Skousen is? This one I didn't think anybody would. He's a Canadian who ended up immigrating to the United States and working for the FBI. He wrote The Naked Communist and warned us with 45 goals of the communist takeover of North America. Does anyone here know who George Soros is? Thank you. George is a leftist globalist billionaire who funds left-leaning groups like Open Society Foundation and helped the elections of Obama and the Clintons. He actively promotes collapsing our conventional governments to forward a one world order to be ruled by Marxism. Everyone here, I hope, has heard of the KKK. So, but did you know this racist group was created by Southern Democrats? Okay. Good. To instill fear in blacks, Catholics, and conservatives? So tell me, how did a left-wing hate group, a precursor to Nazi SS, become a right-wing extremist group? It's hard to answer, isn't it? Okay. Who here was taught that Hitler and the Nazis were right-wing fascists? Yeah. I guarantee Nazism is not right-wing. Historical revisionism, or historical malpractice, forgets Hitler was an avowed socialist who was never elected as chancellor, but through thuggery and coercion was appointed by the Reichstag fire decree. Upon the death of Hindenburg, Hitler self-appointed himself as Führer and Chancellor. Does anyone here believe asteroids are caused by global warming? How about acne? Many leftists do, and some like actor Danny Glover. You guys know him from many movies. Blame Haiti's earthquakes on a failed global warming summit. So this is kind of the stuff that's out there. Watermelons, green on the outside, red on the inside, believe Michael Mann's fraudulent graph of global temperature history shaped like a hockey stick to be gospel. But those same watermelons disregard the Bible's centuries-old words, teachings, and argue that Bible's message of love is nonsense and irrelevant in today's society. How many here trust the media? Greg, of course, is good. How about the CBC, the CTV, CNN, ABC,
Only
CBS?
the CBC, that's the only one we trust, right?
How about the Leader Post? How many here believe Obama's presidency was scandal-free? Because I know this is all that you heard in the news, that Obama's presidency was scandal-free. How about that Trump colluded with the Russians? I know you've all heard of it. How many believe it? How many here know that our current education system is a refinement of the 19th century Prussian education system?
I work in education.
Yeah. Early 20th century educators who taught our teachers, those like communist sympathizer John Dewey, became the fathers of our current education system, so that our children were Hegelian in thought and conducive to working in factories. How many people here heard of Toronto Mayor Rob Ford and his drunken bout with cocaine? Just about everybody, right? But did you know Weyburn's own Canada's greatest Canadian, Tommy Douglas, was fond of early Nazi Germany? Not too many people do.
Yeah.
And personally favored and promoted eugenics. Tommy actually traveled to Germany just before World War II. How many here knew that Jack Layton was caught in a raid on a suspected underage Asian brothel? Jeez, you're right up there. Or that Senator Ted Kennedy left a woman, his mistress, to drown in a submerged car. Or that America's first self-declared black president, Bill Clinton, has been accused of sexual assault and rape by 14 different women, most of which during his time as Arkansas governor and as being president. Not too many people hear that. We've all had colorful discussions with leftists, and I assume most of you have wished you could reboot many of those debates to re-argue your points because a leftist attacked your character or questioned your feelings and motivation and put you in a defensive position. Because I know pretty much all of us have defended our conservatism. Because I know I have. Anyone who's had trouble answering any of my questions that I've answered tonight and debated a leftist and wished to reboot those debates must purchase The Naked Leftist. Those questions I just asked are the basis for understanding the methods and motivation leftists use to sway peoplekind. I provide with evidence the motivation and the leftist fundamental methods through 392 pages comprised of 18 chapters to enlighten the reader. Topics like the Apollonius complex. Within the chapter of Apollonius complex, I inform the reader that the left seeks absolute power. As they see it, return us to the natural order of things, leftism. Whereupon a benevolent leader, with the help of powerful government, must provide all. Another chapter, Shining Knight on a Colorless Horse, there is no underclass or leftist crusade not to be prostituted by the left. They do not seek solutions, but perpetuate the victim classes to propagate the leftist power to rule over you. Within media idiocy, I draw attention to mainstream media. These sycophants carry the Kool-Aid for leftist regimes, an intoxicating Kool-Aid of fake news designed to kill conservatism and sway peoplekind. Within Evil Never Sleeps, a chapter in all likelihood to be the most controversial, I illuminate how leftists disingenuously redefine the Word of God to the unenlightened masses with the intent of destroying religion. And when I say religion, it's just not one religion, it's all religions. My goal within this book is to create the path of enlightenment, to understand the methods and motivation of leftists. Just as a karateka, or practitioner of karate, endeavors to attain a black belt, one must first learn to know the basics. A sensei, which means master or teacher, First teaches the basics of self-defense. As the karateka advances and comprehends, the sensei furthers the karateka with the art of counterattack. This is done by katas, which is a simulated fight, or by kumite, which is sparring. A great sensei will teach a kata's bunkai, or spirit, to make that kata fluid. Flow without thought. A great sensei knows his own teaching ability is limited to the level of his skill and knowledge. A great sensei continuously learns and practices, for perfection is never truly attained. You will not win all your battles, but you will lessen your losses.